Apparently, it helps if you turn your headset on, Bob. All right, it is Wednesday night. You know what that means. I haven't broadcast a race in about 2.5 weeks, and it shows. It is the Mud Mule TV broadcast for the senior circuit. We've got the Lotus. Actually, let me just reads up over here. There we go. Oh, we are really not doing great here today, guys. Let's try and get some info up on our screens. There we go. Senior Circuit Classic at Lotus 49s. We're at Charlotte Motor Speedway for this week's round of Lotus racing. Here's the grid. Mark Brunig, Larry Tittle on that front row. Tom Landon, Chris Standridge, second row. Third row is going to be Stu Kidd, right? Stu Kidd, Stu Kidd, right? What's this? Kid Wrench? Oh my gosh. Phil Hitman, Les Benson. Let's see all these names. Gene Watkinson, Kid Wrench, right? It was Jim Tasman Wardlow. Sorry, Phil Hitman Manzo, Andrew Forrester, and Gene Watkins. 10 competitors. You can see there on the grid. The rest of the competitors are our Pruda competitors. No, we don't want race info. We want race. We want the race on our screen. There we go. Where's the track map? Ah! How you going, bruv? Oh, that's what I haven't got on my screen. Just, and we'll go to that one. Oh, that's too big, Bob. Sorry, I haven't broadcast in 2 weeks. The Bob Show has taken up some of my time, so that beard's getting. I need a trim. I need a trim. That is getting terrible. All right, looks like we're about to get this one underway. Wait and see how this. Whoa, down off the apron. That's Mark Brunig. Let's work out where I've stashed my camera controls. They're over here. I'm going to be looking away every now and then. Brunig, Standridge, Tittle, Land, Wright, Bence, Hitman, Wardlow, Forrester, Watkinson. That is the top 10. We need power there. There we go. Nope. Well, that's the ticker. That's the ticker. This is what I want. Nope. Trying to work out what ticker my software is using. It's not updating with car logo. I can't seem to change it at all. Which is a bit weird. Ollie Beard Bob, cut that off. Makes you look 40 years younger. No! I don't want to look like I'm 7. But yeah, it does. It's out of control. It needs a trim. It is long as balls. I had a hair tie. I'd put a little plait for you guys and do that. But yeah, she's long. All right. Trying to work out. Ah! Oh, we've had a crash. That is the 12 of Larry Tittle. Let's go back and rewatch that one. There he is there behind the 22, Christopher Standridge. Looks like he just got into the wall just a little bit there, floated up. and got loose down into the Legends oval portion of the track. Oh, I didn't crack my back up. You can really tell it's been 3 weeks, 2 weeks since I've done one of these broadcasts. Not as nimble as I have been on logos. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Get some of the other guys to come and lurk in Twitch for me as well. I need to bump my Twitch numbers so I can get affiliate. But I don't want to, like, tell people to do that, even though that's exactly what I'm doing right now. 6 of 60 laps in. This is our first caution. It was the 12 of Larry Tittle. Gene Watkinson also in the pits. Mark Bruni, Chris Standridge, Tom Landstrew, Kid Wrench right. There's Vance, Jim Tasman Warlow, Phil Hitman Manzo, and Andrew Forrester. Those of you just coming along and checking this stuff out, cautions. So the way the cautions work, generally 4 laps. 4. 1, 2, 4. 4 laps. First lap is there's been a crash. Second lap is the tidy up / get into the pits. Third lap, obviously, get into the pits, last resort, as well as get ready to line up with 1 to go on the 4th lap. They'll line up double wide and get ready to restart the race from the Geico restart zone. As Chris says in Facebook chat, these are the hardest cars to drive in the game, I feel. They're just so different. You just can't, like, with NASCARs, you're so used to just letting off the throttle and just rolling through. But these open wheels, a little bit of brake and they will just go crazy. A little bit of air, they just go crazy. So yeah, look, they're not. I don't think they're the hardest. Off you bit there, dude. They're not the hard. They're definitely hard, but I don't think they are the hardest. Check out my t-shirt. Isn't that cool? Nasty boys. Yeah, represent. So they're going to start to line up. It'll be Bruning and Standridge on that front row. Nope, it's just a file. Husker. Who's Husker? Husker. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Husker. That's there's a Husker guy over at Fat Duck, and now I feel terrible because I can't remember. Lucas Huskers. It's terrible with names. Unless I've actioned you or something. Froy gave me the follow yesterday during our over with Sip Chat Play, doing some. It is Lucas. I'm good, my friend, joining us in the Twitch chat. I'll tell you what, if you guys could get 1 more person, I need 3 concurrent viewers in Twitch to get to affiliate. Go grab Jack or Fordsy or someone. All right, I reckon 1 more lap around this track. Caution come out on 6, so 7, 8, yeah. 6, 7, 8. This will be the last lap. I think the lap count will reset. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait until Fordsy. There he is. Everyone's favourite young old guy. How you going, Fordsy? She can hear his voice. Like, it makes me sound young. All right. It looks like Watkins going to be staying. Gene Watkinson's going to be staying in the pits. Larry Tittle 2 laps down, but we're going to start getting this lined up to get this one back under green flag racing. Mark Brunig, Christopher Standridge. Now, if you've heard that name before, that is because Chris Standridge is the Bob Show producer / writer as well. He does all of our ads, writes all the ads for me and stuff. So if you do enjoy the Bob Show, the Saturday night US, Sunday morning Australian talk show, that I've been putting on the last couple of weeks. That is a big part of that is the red 22, Christopher Standridge outside pole. He is the man. So big ups to him, and I love what we've got going on. Behind him, Tom the Missile Land and Stu Kid Wrench right. And it's going to be Les Benson, Phil Hitman Manzo, Jim Tasman Wardlow, and Andrew Forrester. Larry Tittle. Looks like Larry's back out on the track. Gene's not. Gene's still in the pits, the 111. We see him on the track map. All right, boys, going to come through 3 and 4 corners, and we'll get this one started as they approach that tri-oval. Oh, Jar, you're a ledge. Oh. Sounds old as shit. That's a fine, Lucas. $50,000 fine. All right, we're off and racing again. Mark Bruning off to a great start. Looks like Christopher Standridge is going to contend with Tom Land on that low line. Also, that right as well. I don't like these NASCAR NASCAR tickets just purely because I only get their last name. I don't think I can do full names on the towers. No, I can't. And I think the driver detail tab will overlap, yeah. All right, that is Mark Bruning leading this race. Kiss Standridge, Tom Land, Stu Kid Wrench right. There's a bench. That is the top of 5 as we get a beautiful look just off the top of that helmet. Race that up a little bit. Hugs that line. Looks like all of the AI are out. It is literally a 10-car race, 12 laps of 60 in. Mark Bruning race leader. Tom Land's moved himself up into second. Chris Standridge third. Kid Wrench right. And Les Ben's still the top 5. It's Wardlow, Manzo, sorry, Forrester, Tittle, and Watkinson. It's awkward. I'm trying to sort of keep the names up on my screen so I can see those properly. But at the same time, keep an eye on the chat. If we can get an idea of what sort of speed these guys are hitting. I'll find stuff on the program. Dashboard. There it is. I suppose we're going to get rid of the track map though. Oh, it's been too long. There we see about 150 mile per hour. Change that over to kilometres for some of our Australian viewers. There we go. 290, almost 300 kilometres, just over 300 kilometres. That car is hitting per hour. That is fast. Only half the speed of miles per hour. Geez, miles per hour slow. Let's have a look and see what the leader is doing speed-wise. Charlotte, not exactly a racy track. It's one of those ones where there's a few different lines that you can race. And some of them provide just as much as advantage as others. How you're comfortable. If it's it's more, I guess, making it so you don't fight against the car. Tyre wear, obviously, very important, as well as natural sort of wear of the track itself. So don't want to push it too hard, too fast. battle. Looks like the beast almost went Kiwi then. Horsey, bit of your speak. It looks like the best battle on the track. The best battle on the trick is no, that was terrible. Christopher Standridge and Tom Lamb, the 22 and the 91, sorry, 61. They can see him just up ahead. Or a bit small, so I'm over the way of those cars a bit. Back behind them is Stu Kidwrench right, and Les Bence. That top 5 has not changed a bit. See what else is going on around the track. If we can get a close look at Jim's car. The Tassie Devil. So Jim Tasman Wardlow is he's the Tasman because of the Tasmanian Devil. And as you know, I am actually a Tasmanian Devil. I'm from the great island state of Tasmania. It's a cool view, actually. I do like that view. It's quite cool. Tasman, Jim Wardlow coming up on Les Bence, the top 5 driver. I meant to order copies this morning, and apparently I didn't, so whoops, make one, missed maybe one, and I smashed that. Right. So I'll just, Grey Kai, Grey Rex, love you too, brother. But after I saw what I saw in the chat, it's I think hi Tommy, Tommy likes boys, I heard. So hi Tommy. Nothing wrong with liking boys. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink after I talk all that crap. I'll be back soon, boys. Enjoy this race. Back off, Jar. Back off. He's mine. Oh, I'm back. We're on lap 25 of 60. Coming very close to that halfway mark here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, USA. Senior circuit. And their classic Lotus 49s, the 1949 Lotus open wheels racing in series. Go for Jack. You can have Jack. I prefer blue anyway. Blue's better than green. Let's have a look at some of the best times out on the track so far. Dean Watkinson looks like he's still in the pit, so wasn't able to lock in a good quick time, 1 minute 11:35. We can see there Larry Tittle with a 31:72 equal times for Manzo and Forrester. Benz 31:42, 31:40 for Wardlow, right, 31:24. I think that's going to be the quick time there. Stu Kid Wrench right, 31:24, 31:28 equal times for those two men on our screens right there. Christopher Standridge and Tom Landers. Our second caution has come out. 28 laps, 22 laps since the last one. Mark Brunig, 31:30. Let's see. Might have been Andrew Forrester who crashed. Let's watch that one play out. I'll get a better camera angle for the crashing. One's good. One looks good. Oh, back. I'm not really sure what happened there. Oh, it looks like might have got that wall just briefly. That caused his car to spin out into the wall. Blew that tire, that front right, clean off the car. Looks like someone else might have got caught up in it as well. That would be Jim Tasman Wardlow. Andrew Forrester, but looks actually the 8, and then yeah, Jim Tasman, Wardlow, Les Bent, all going into the pits. Not Jack. Should little James be back soon from Egypt, wherever he went? I miss little James. I don't know where that came from. Little James, little James, ages. He's back. All right, I'm coming into the city tonight. Has he? Oh, man, I've really been slacking. I showed up at the shop for like 2 days in a row and then just hit again, but I've just been flat out. Maybe he's hanging out with Phoenix over at is she at Marlowe's? Yeah. Oh, track map. Right. Oh, because we're on replay, Bob. We're not even live. Fuck, I said his name 3 times. Beetlejuice, and then the third one. Bloody shows. Hate Phoenix. Miss you. Have you stolen little James? Have you taken him over to Marlowe's? Is this what I'm hearing? Skinny arms. Old man arms. Halfway mark of this senior circuit race. Looks like we've still got 7 drivers. Jim Tasman Wardlow and Les Bents. Looks like they've joined Gene Watkins in the pits. Could just be getting some repairs, so I'll have to wait and see. Andrew Forrester and Larry Tittle, they are out on the track, but we don't have the gap up on the screen, so we don't know how many laps they are down there. Just down a laps. 5 cars on the lead lap. The top 5 are still in this one. Mark Bruning, Phil Hitman Manzo, Chris Standridge, Tom Land, and Stu Kid Wrench Wright battling it out for the win here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, try and have a chat. Interviews with this division a bit tricky. Some guys have some races to go on to and go do that. So we'll see how we go. But if you are just checking us out, this is BobbethTV, the iRacing broadcasting thing that I do. These guys are all real life racers, real life people racing on the track. They're not a AI or anything like that, just playing races. Guys are all sitting in their racing sims in their not in Marlow. I thought you were in Marlow. I look forward to seeing you back at the coffee shop sometime soon then. Or was I wrong? It wasn't Marlow in the first place. I know you left us for some stupid gang. You had to go do your own thing for a bit, but you've got that out of your system. Come on back. All right, we just saw someone leaving the pits just briefly, trying to get a bit of an idea as to who that might have been. I think it was the 67 Les Bents. It was going to have a bit of a race on his hands. Thanks for the follow too, Phoenix. Appreciate you. Peter Jones for the like as well. Birch is going back to the bikies. What bikies? Do we even have bikie gangs? Versco, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. No, she's coming back to us. Need the second best coffee barista back at the shop. No one quite makes those special coffees. Bean machine, bean machine, bean. All right, let's get back to what I'm paid to do, and that is call this race somewhat, almost professionally. We are back and racing. Lap 32 of 60 underway. Just 29 laps remain. A little over halfway into this battle. Mark Bruning straight out into that race lead, as does Christopher Standridge. Manzo in third, right fourth. Thomas Land fifth. Harry Tittle, Andrew Forrester, Jim Wardlow. There's Benz. Gene Watkinson still in the pit, so it looks like we do have. Oh no, Andrew Forrester is still in the pit, sorry, as well. So just 8 cars back out on the track. Making myself conscious. Washington. Oh, third caution has come out. I didn't even notice. Have a look and see if we can see what that one is. It looks like it might have been Tom Land, the 91. And see what happened there. We can see the 91 up wide there. Oh, got a little bit loose and turned down into the track. Also got into someone else there. That's brought out our third caution. Can't see. Maybe we should do that for our Bob Show poll this week, is trying to decide which gang Phoenix should hang out with. Only right answer is no vote. I'm super thick. My mouth is right today. So dead right. All right, looks like we've had an actual retiree in. It looks like a Stu Kid Ranch Right has retired. He's finished 3 spots down from where he qualified. Like if Andrew Forrester can get back on the track, he might be able to benefit a little bit there from that, get himself back into a bit more points contention. Robbo, thanks for the like, brother. Appreciate you. Always, even though you're not watching the broadcast, you just scroll on Facebook. Look at that packed house for this race here today. That audience is packed. Can I be a hanger? Yeah, Versco, who's this? Find out in. Gold. That's gold. Robbo's watching. Holy shit. Hey, Robbo. Thought you might have just been on your vape break. They're retarded. Retired. I said retired. That's a Deadpool joke. That's good. That's good. I like that, Robbo. Spoilers for the new Deadpool Wolverine there. There's a joke that comes straight from that movie. Robbo made it funny. That's a rare moment. What we'll do, Phoenix, is offer free coffee shops. Offer free coffees. And for people named Versco on Twitch. But then they have to show their ID when they get their coffee. That's not coffee. That's red cordial. Red cordial, bruv. All right, just 25 laps to go. We're still in the middle of setting up our third caution restart. Land just got a little bit loose and fell down into the car below him, and a couple of guys spun out. Looks like the way they're sitting there, he's back there. Sure, that's him. Oh no, there he is, all the way back there. 8 cars that remain in this battle. Off we go. 24 laps remain. Up 37, just about done as we come down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Mark Brunig has absolutely had this race in control from the get-go. No one has been able to throw a challenge at him at all. Hasn't been the quickest car on the track, but once he's got that lead, he has not let that advantage go. That's the 91 at Tom Land there. But Les Benz just up there in front of him. A couple of laps down, so we'll be lapped traffic. Oh, 7 bends up into the wall a little bit there. I think he might have been staying a bit high just to let some of those guys who are actually on the lead lap past. So they could, whoa, there's a sick drift there by the 67. Doesn't look like he crashed and brought out a caution. Must have recovered it. Jump over to him and see if we can find. No, there he is, still trying to grab a hold of it. That is going to bring out our 4th caution for the night. Lap 38 it was. Griff Raid. Oh no, welcome. Hey Griff, you're not still streaming since 2:30 this morning, are you? Oh, free coffee. Yeah, so Robbo, you know the Grand Theft Auto thing I do, so a lot of the guys and a lot of the people in this chat are friends from that thing. Dude, I replied to you at who was it? So you did reply. Yeah, but like I couldn't join it in at 10:30 because I had this thing to do. So I appreciate you to coming over, and yeah, she did reply to my reply. I do. So, hey Beth. Yeah. So I was saying to Robbo, coffee. Yeah. So this is there's a lot of these guys in this. A lot of people in the chat are why am I pointing at the chat? Wait. From Fat Duck, from the Grand Theft Auto thing I do, and we all hang out as a gang and hangies at the coffee shop, and us hangies work the coffee shop in. Yeah, no, fuck, coffee's great anyway. Screw you, Robert. Screw you. He left you behind when he raided me, Paul. That sounds like a Griff thing to do. Holy shit! I just realised that you did come over with some viewers, Griff. 20 viewers. Welcome, everyone. Hi, this is I'm Bob. This is BobbethTV. It's an iRacing broadcasting thing that I do. This is the senior circuit. Those cars are classic 1949 open-wheel Lotus race cars. And we have, I believe, about 6 or 7 cars still in this race. We started with 20, got it down to 10 pretty quickly, and it looks like, well, pit count wise, we can see there Les Benz and Stu Kid Ranch Right have retired. Ben Watkinson's still in the pits. Andrew Forrester and Jim Tasman Wardlow, I think they're currently in the pits. I'm not sure. We have Tom Land, Larry Tittle, Christopher Standridge, and our racer leader, Mark Brunig, has been racing very well all race, has had Charlotte Motor Speedway in the palm of his hands for the last, say, 40-odd laps, 60-lap race. Now, for those of you who've just come over with Griff as well, we do a racing recap sort of podcast show, Saturday night US, 9 p.m. Australian, Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. time zones. I'll work out what UK is for that for Griff one day. But yeah, that's an hour-long podcasting that we do. Please definitely come along and check that out. That'll sort of recap what we've been doing here today and talk to a few different people. What else we got in the chat? Beth's here. Can't believe Beth's here as well. Oh yeah, but I would have had my 10. So your 10 and my 10 plus 10, just around 20. So yeah, so it's my highest view count ever. And since you're coming from Twitch, and Twitch is the one product I really do need a little bit of. I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to be like, "Hey guys, come on." But yeah, the whole squad. Both like, I think if my mum joined right now, that would be the only way to cap it off. Nah, the numbers you brought got me to 20 viewers. The only time I've had a broadcast that high was my little brother's memorial show. Later, Gray. I will see you at the shop. Appreciate you. What was your streaming, Griff? What were you playing? Bit of Kingdom Come. Oh, you can refer to me as Bailiff Henry now. Bailiff. Aha! I have my own town. Yeah, I got back on it last night. I jumped into the Discord. You were still in there, I think, sleeping. Look, no offense to those other viewers, but at least we got you, Meatball. Spooky Meatball. Follow Spooky Meatball as well on Twitch if you do like scary games. There's this weird, those games that make me squeal like a scaredy cat. Really should have brushed them. Only because there's ladies in that, and I'm also about it. All right, so once we get this caution back underway, it's going to be about 15 laps to go. Not a lot left in this race. There's been 4 cautions so far. It's been a while since I played fast, mate. Just hiding in the corner of a lounge room behind a couch, screaming the ghost's name. Yeah, no, we definitely need to. And things are great. Thank you for asking. You can refer to me as Henry of Skalitz in the competition of Sir Radzik, Bailiff of Pribyslavitz, Master Huntsman of Sir Divish of Talmberg. And Queen of Dragons. Alright, so look, I don't care for hunting. So fish can suck my balls. I slept with Division 5, so I don't really want to talk to him too much. Oh, company, yes, okay, yep. Oh, we are back and racing. 15 laps to go. Mark Bruning. There is no one in this race that gets a start better than him. Look at that. He is off to over a half-second lead on Chris Standridge. Larry Tittle about 1/4 of 1.3 tenths of a second. Put it out. Like I said at the head of the broadcast, you take 2 weeks off from broadcasting, do a crazy little podcast show, and apparently you lose all ability to be professional to your job. No marks winning. Let's switch my race stuff. Just battled Chris Standridge, got himself back in to second place. I can see on the standings, Jim Tasman Wardlow and Phil Hitman Manzo have been battling for that top 5 position. It looks like Jim Tasman Wardlow currently owns that position. Tom Land in 4th. Larry Tittle 3rd. Christopher Standridge, we see there the red 22 and the blue 61. 2nd and 1st. Blue 61, of course, Mark Brunig has been very dominating in this series. The Lotus 49s. 12 laps still to come. The 54, Jim Tasman Wardlow and Hitman Manzo at 5th place battle is just back at the pack. We can see it on the track map there. We can see that the 48 Wardlow has got that car out a little bit further in front of Manzo than Manzo would like. Larry Tittle just getting those tyres just below that white and blue line. That is the apron, and do not want to get the tyres down there. While these guys have different tread and traction available to them than they would normally the NASCAR trucks and stands, that can also get loose down there. It's a different, lighter, looser track, and obviously they're not running on it, so it's not warm and there's no stick. So you're really brave getting that car down below that line, because it can bring you unstuck. And there we see Larry Tittle just proved me wrong yet again. Like, what? Down below the blue line? What's this? We'll watch him coming in to 1 and 2 here. If he does it here. Yeah, it gets right down low in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And even on exit there. Less than single-digit laps remain. 9 laps to go. You can hear that car decelerating, just rolling off the gas as he's coming through. So that would explain why those tyres are not getting loose. Bruni. Christopher Standridge, he's got that lead, Mark Brunig's lead. He had it as close as 3/10, has been blown back out to about a half a second lead. Does get a bit closer than that within the next couple of laps. We will jump up and watch, but right now, this battle here between Larry Tittle, Jim Tasman Wardlow, has been a lot of fun to watch. Oh, sorry, that's Tom Land. Tom Land and Larry Tittle, my bad. Battling for third and fourth place. Great view in front of Larry's car there as he trying to do what he can to get into that top three. Wants that podium finish. Right now it's Mark Bruni, Chris Standridge, Tom Land, Larry Tittle just back there in fourth. 6 to go. 5.5 because we're only coming down at the back stretch into 3 and 4. Very little of this 6 to go lap left. You got to wonder, there's a big straight line with all these cars, and you got to wonder if the draft will play into that, and if they're biding their time, they've got to sneak a position or two. Standridge, Tom Land, Larry Tittle, they've got this bit of a chain going. A bit late to push Chris up to the lead. Looks like it's really sort of benefiting Larry Tittle here. Have a look at the last laps. See what those times are looking like. 31.33, 31.32 and 31.54. So Tom Land the quickest. He's in the middle of that sandwich, so he's got the best of both worlds to play with, someone to sort of draft off of and be pushed from. Chris, of course, the slower car because he's just being sort of having that air drafted off of him by Tom behind him, and Larry trying to do what he can to keep Tom in check. Three laps remain in this race. Tom Land and Chris Standridge battling it out for second and third here as Larry Tittle catches up. Look, I think it's pretty much accepted. Mark Bruni will be our winner here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, but we're just going to stick with second, third, and fourth for the time being with there's 2 to go, as this is where the race is at. No wuckers. Granny Wans. Badge. I'm trying to make a bit of a move there. Come around out of 3 and 4. Last lap, white flag lap. Oh, we will have a finish. Tom Land gets a little bit loose. He corrects it. Oh, no. Larry Tittle up into the wall. It's the white flag lap, so it doesn't matter if anyone crashes. There will not be a yellow flag. Next flag will be checkered. Like that second, third, and fourth battle is well and truly over, so we're going to ride with Mark Bruni here as he comes out of the 3 and 4, gets that checkered flag. It's that start finish line. Unofficial results. Going to be Mark Bruni first, Christopher Standridge second, Tom Land third, Larry Tittle fourth. Looks like Jim Tasman Wardlow will be our top 5 finisher. Jump on over to the official results when they become available. Hey. Table. So here we go. Senior Circuit Classic Lotus 49s at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Results are Mark Bruni first, Christopher Standridge finishing in second, Tom Land third, Larry Tittle fourth, Jim Wardlow fifth, Phil Hitman Manzo in sixth, Andrew Forrester seventh, Les Benz eighth, Stu Kid Wrench right in ninth, Gene Watkinson in 10th. and our Pooters, our AI-controlled drivers, finished 10th, I believe. Yeah. All right, well, that rounds up this broadcast of BobbethTV for the Senior Circuit Classic Lotus 49s. Before we wrap up, Swamp Ass, Randy Dixon in the chat, coming over via the late Facebook comment. Good run, Chris, he says. Check the Discord, just anyone here for a chat. All right, looks like we do. Looks like we do. All right. That's good, Bob. I want. I'll just get. There we go. All right, we're going to start off with this man. Finished second place, qualified and started fourth. So finished 2 whole positions up further than he qualified. So a successful run considering that battle between himself, Tom Land, Larry Tittle, a couple of the other guys that were having a few shots at that one. But Chris Standridge, you got a copy? All right, let me just. Oh, it's been so long since I've done an interview. I need to turn it all back on. Let's have a look. There it is. All right, just got a copy?
Yes, I do. Can you hear me?
There we go. Everyone can hear. Randy Swampass in the chat saying good run, Chris. And yeah, that really was a good run. I think we've seen it in the past, but Mark Brunig, his starts are just impeccable, and unfortunately, that sort of gets him out to a decent enough lead that it really is hard. I saw you sort of drag him back to within, say, 2-3 tenths at the most. But he was able to sort of push that back out. Was that a tribute to his driving, or was that battle between yourself, Tom, and Larry really that hectic?
It was all of the above. Mark's the open wheel master. I'm telling you, you put him in an Indy car, and if he doesn't win, it's a shock. So I did catch up to him there. I think I had the fresher tires, so I felt like, oh, we're going to make this a race. And then right about then, that's when I started just kind of slipping in every turn. And the next thing I know, I got Tom up there right behind me. So yeah, he's that good, and I'm that bad, both of them. So.
It was a good race, and I know you mentioned in the chat earlier tonight that you feel like these are one of the hardest cars to race, and I know that a lot of you guys come from a NASCAR and trucks or sedan background, and where you can ride the brakes a little bit, you can let off the accelerator and let it roll through. Open wheels generally operate a little bit differently than that. Sometimes if you're a little bit too much off the gas, it'll get loose. If you're a little bit too much on the brakes, it'll get loose. If you're a little bit too hard on the wheels, it'll get loose. If you're a little bit less hard on the wheel, it'll get loose. Charlotte, I feel like that's a good streamlined track. Like you can get a good run and get a good sort of draft, a good motion happening. Was it as bad out there with the Lotuses as some of the other tracks, or was Charlotte sort of a bit kinder to you?
It was harder to me. I don't know. You'd have to ask the other guys what they thought, but the car just wiggles. I mean, you'll just be driving along, everything seems fine, and then the rear end just kind of swings around on you all of a sudden for no reason. And then there's a draft if you could get up close enough. That was kind of what was happening with Mark. Was I'd get a draft and I'd start to pull up to him, but then it would just want to swing you up to the wall, and I wouldn't account for that, and so I would lose. I'd have to hit the brake a little harder, let off the gas a little more, and slow her down so that I didn't go up into the wall, and then I would lose valuable seconds there.
Yeah, we did see that with a few guys. I think Jim was one, Tom was another. Was able to recover and sort of get himself back into it after those cautions and stuff. But it looked like entry into 1 and entry into 3, where some of those cars had just I guess probably more 1 because you got the exit of the dog leg and then it sort of turns into a turn and it is quite easy. But a lot of those cars just drifting up a little bit. Some of them would save it, but there were a few times where contact in the wall would happen, or vice versa, like what you said with the sort of what I would affectionately call the speed wobbles. I saw, not to pick on Tom, but I saw Tom. We affectionately called Tom the missile, and a lot of you'll see a lot of reasons why on the track audience. But he was going so fast that he started to get those speed wobbles a little bit, and actually turned down on a like he was on a straight and it turned him down into the infield. Yeah, it's one of those ones where like people always say you sort of need to know when to cut off a run or when to take advantage of the draft and things like that. And I felt like it might have been the draft that was causing those sorts of sort of potential incidents. It was the too much speed.
Yeah, the accelerator, man. If you, I mean, and you really had to baby that sucker forward, and then hang on. Yeah, so the accelerator, and then going into that turn, you had to let off just the tiniest little bit and then get back on it. Otherwise, yeah, it'd swing around on you there. I had a couple times where I started to do what happened to Tom there, and it just managed to just kind of luckily save it.
Yeah, there was a few like that. There was one there. Who's the 67? Les Bentz. And I'm not picking on you, Les, if you're watching this. In fact, it's the opposite. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. He got loose coming through. I think it was middle of 3 and 4, and basically turned it into a drift. Now, whether he wanted to sort of hold that drift or not, he chose to. And it was one of those fun overcorrects where it just sort of tank slapped back and forth. Before it came to a stop, but it just looks so much fun. Like it's one of those rare losing it's where it's a fun lose that I feel like you've done too much. He I think he had the best drift of the night. There was a few of you guys who just got a little bit loose, and I think I've mentioned this in past races where it looks like on exit some of those cars just seem to slip out a little bit rear end wise, and I was never sure if it was the camera angle or what I was seeing was correct, but I think we saw it a lot more tonight in that respect. But well, actually, in saying that, normally for me, when I race this track, predominantly in the trucks, that exit of 4 on Charlotte, because obviously it's there, you can sort of come in a lot higher in 1 and 2 and hold it high or hold it mid or stay low, whereas 3 and 4, you really do have to sort of cut that corner. You come in high and come out low, because it does tend to push you up towards that wall on exit. Was there any issues there with these cars, or were they sort of, that was probably the only sort of Charlotte issue they didn't seem to have to worry about?
For me, the setup was really good. In fact, I was thinking about that in the last few laps. Even when it started to get a little loose, it would. I mean, it's remarkable how if you took that inside line, you drift out, but even like with the pedal all the way down, you don't go up into that wall. It would, I mean, it was close. It was inches, and I imagine if you lose a little more tire, you might go up there. But no, it's pretty smooth. Really hard here to hold the outside line. I think you saw when Tom and Stu and I were all passing each other. If you had to hold a line all the way through the turn and you couldn't drift out, sometimes you just couldn't make that pass. No, it was a lot of fun, and huge respect to Tom and Stu and everybody else. Just a lot of everybody really worked hard not to hit each other, and it happened. But I mean, I never felt like at all while I was driving through those turns like I was going to get taken out. Everybody worked extra. I mean, it's a lot of respect, and this league really does a great job of trying not to wreck each other. Guys will back off rather than take that chance and take out somebody. So big respect.
I definitely could not agree more. All right, well, look, for those that are listening and go, that voice is familiar. Yes, that's Chris from the Bob Show, Saturday nights US and Sunday mornings Australian. So we'll definitely be talking to you again very soon this week. And in fact, I'll be talking to you sooner. I'm the fortunate one. But before we let you go, brother, friends, family, sponsors, who do you want to give a shout out to?
Just going to give a shout out to my wife and family and thank them for letting me get on here and giving me the peace and quiet to run. And shout out to all I got a shout out to the students today. I wasn't feeling good and I was in a bad mood. And so if any students are out there, I apologize for my moodiness today.
You can give him a caning. No, you don't do the whole rapping on the knuckles with the ruler stuff anymore. We're not.
Oh gosh, no, yeah.
Boring.
This is America. We have lawsuits, man.
But no, in all seriousness, hope you feel better soon, dude. And we'll talk the couple of days build up to the show.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. All right, that was Chris Standridge. We'll just can't move him. There we go. He's going to move out for us. Our second place finisher. Now gone to have a chat with this gentleman a few times, haven't been fortunate enough to, so I'm so glad that he's kept his winning ways here. As Chris described, you are the open wheel guy. Sounds like the man to beat. And Chris, but Mark, Mr. Brennig, you got a copy?
Yes, I do. You hear me?
I do hear you, brother. So look, let's start off with the Chris Standridge claims, where he pretty much called you Mr. Open Wheel, thinks you're the best thing on an open wheel. Is that is that your sort of style of car of choice on iRacing?
Yeah, I would call myself an open wheel guy. I'm not sure if I'm the man to beat. There's a bunch of other guys in senior circuit that enjoy open wheel racing and give me a good fight. Especially on the ovals, there's a bunch of guys that do really well. It's definitely not true that I'm always up there and nobody has a chance. That's too much honor.
Yeah. All right. Look, I'm just going by the last few races that I've seen, and yeah, you're as I said to Chris, it's and obviously when I say this, obviously no disrespect whatsoever coming your way in terms of racecraft, but you're not the quickest out there. There were a few other guys who had quicker lap times, but those
Yeah.
restarts I think are key. It's that little bit of extra gap between you and that other person, and race speed is such a similar sort of speed with you guys. A lot of you guys all run very similar laps, different lines and stuff, but similar lap time. So race speed can be quite similar, and then that means you don't see a lot of passing. It generally will come from a caution or a pressure. But your starts, they seem to give you almost a 3/10 buffer. I know Chris would drag you down to about 2/10, almost just under 3/10 of a gap. And once you sort of get back to your rhythm, it blows straight back out to about half a second, 6/10 of a second. And I truly believe that was contributed to your restarts. Is there, and obviously we don't want you to explain what you do in terms of the technique, but is there a technique? Are there certain things you look at and sort of go, all right, I'm gonna try and sort of just be a little bit, earlier on the restart zone or a bit later. I know with ovals, obviously, just for viewers, there is a restart zone, so it's not like you can sandbag or sort of really control the starts. But is there anything, and obviously you don't have to tell us what, but is there anything you do on restarts that does give you that advantage?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm giving away anything, but you're just trying as much throttle as you can, and if you feel the back end is starting to wiggle a little bit, you get off it a little bit, you short shift up, and you just hang on to it. I mean, I have driven this car a lot in official races to get through my C license.
Yep.
And so I've got a lot of practice, and I think it's actually become a little bit easier to drive with the new tire model, giving you a little bit more slip angle. I think Chris already touched on this a little bit. That the back end gets a little loose on these oval setups, simply because all the tires are leaning to the left. The car is set up to make the turns. It really holds well in the turn. If you bring it in with your foot off the gas and lean a little bit on the front wheels, it really comes in nice. And it's actually easier to make the turns than it is to be on to drive on the straights, because of all that camber and the wheels all leaning to the left side.
Yep.
It really gets squirrely when you get off the turns, which you could see guys doing coming off of 4 because the banking unloads there. You guys already touched on that a little bit. But it's the same coming off of 2. When you get the car in a straight line, you're actually correcting it more than while you're in the turn.
Wow. Now,
and going back to those restarts, that's kind of the same thing. What I do is I try not to have the steering wheel too tightly in my hands, so the car, it gives me that feedback really quickly.
Now, the only sort of open wheels I can really compare them to would be my Skip Barber run. So I quite like open wheels myself, just as some older guys in the racing simulation scene. A lot of these cars are the cars we sort of grew up in video games and stuff, racing with and playing on and stuff. So I cut my teeth a lot at places like Lime Rock. With the Skip Barber series like that. Now, I noticed, and I sort of mentioned this in the broadcast a little bit, for a lot of guys that I know from, say, NASCAR oval racing, we can ride the brakes a bit, can get off the gas. I know with the skip barbers and some of those open wheels, that it's sort of the opposite. You can't jam the brakes on, or it does get a little bit loose. You can't ride the brakes with the accelerator. That rear just floats. What sort of overall sort of general tips can you give someone in terms of obviously you said, don't hold on the steering wheel so tight, you get your feedback a lot more quicker that way, but what other tips can you sort of give guys to sort of better themselves in these?
I think it's comes down to the basics of racing. There's no substitute for seat time. You got to practice.
Definitely.
You got to put in your time, and you got to start being comfortable with sliding the back end around. This is a car with absolutely zero downforce.
Yep.
The tires could just as well have been made of wood. I mean, we're talking about a car that was built and designed in 1967. So it's got nothing of any modern race car. You have to be willing to slide it around and learn how to control slide it with both the wheel. What you do with the steering wheel and what you do with the throttle goes together in learning that. And if you're not comfortable doing that, if you're not comfortable drifting, and let's be honest, on an oval like this, you're doing that at a pretty high speed. You don't have a lot of room for error, but you got to get comfortable with that.
Definitely. So yeah, and I think it's the one of the two most universal things across iRacing: seat time and throttle control. If you can if you can break, not a lot of people sort of go, oh, I don't like this car because I can't really do this much. But if you sort of break it down to just those two core items, then you can really do well. And I know that some people disagree, some people agree. I think it's those that really do get out of it, what I'm about to mention, that do agree is. So I came into iRacing for dirt racing. Big dirt fan. My parents, my mum and my stepdad both raced when I was a kid, and so I heard about the sim, and I was like, oh sweet, I've been hankering for a great dirt track racing game for ages. And I came and checked it out, and fell in love with the NASCAR and the road oval. The road oval circuit. I'm sort of lost where I was going to, but that's right.
Throttle control,
Throttle control. So I found that the dirt stuff actually did help me, especially with the sliding, especially with dealing with the infield, say near the tri-oval, stuff like that.
Yeah.
How much of your background is dirt, and how much of that dirt, if there is one, does that help in this sort of situation with the sliding and the sort of the corner control?
So my background is not at all in dirt. I'm originally from Europe. There isn't much dirt racing there. It's not popular. So no background there at all. But when it came out on iRacing, I was very willing to try it because I totally agree with you that it helps with the coordination of your what you see, what you do with your hands, and what you do with your foot, and all that works together. And dirt is a great way to learn that. So and on dirt, you actually learn it at a somewhat slower speed, but the principles are all the same.
Yeah.
So I think it's an awesome way to practice getting comfortable with going sideways through a turn. Absolutely.
Definitely agree. It's and I like a way that it is slower, so it's sort of it almost allows you to go into slow-mo mode. I know I've been in plenty of like Class C truck races where I've gone into a crash and everything has. And, you feel it all just slow. It becomes Days of Thunder, and it's sort of like, okay, I'll go high up through the smoke type of situation. But it does. I fully agree with that. I have a lot of friends who say, I don't race dirt streets, dirt oval, because it's slow. It's not fun, and it's like, but yeah, it's just think of it as being able to go into slow-mo motion and NASCAR and work those things out and go, all right, well, if my car's doing this, I need to do X, Y, and Z to get it back on track. But no, I definitely agree. It's you can see the different disciplines bleed through a little bit, and I think that something like the Lotuses, I feel like, those with a dirt background, obviously not yourself, would not do better, but what I think would have a little bit of a leg up on some of the less apparent sort of skill sets that you would need to be successful. All right, I'm starting to waffle, so I think that's probably a great time to wrap up and let you take bragging rights for this week.
Thank you.
absolute pleasure to get to have a chat with you, Mark. It's awesome to watch you race. Yeah, those starts and just the I don't know what's going on your side of the fence, but from this side of the fence, it definitely looks like very calm and in control. You don't sort of over panic or over drive or try and do anything too
Right.
silly. And I think from that just goes a long way in showing what a class
Yeah.
driver
I
looks
think
like.
you're touching on something that's very important in a race car. You don't want to be overdoing it. You want to be smooth and calm and collected, and that way you feel much better what you're doing and what you're not doing right. I think the one mistake that a lot of people make, I coach some people here and there, and one of the things I always tell them is it's not about how fast you go into the turn, it's how fast you get out of it. You can give up the entry of the turn if something doesn't work right. You just give up. The guy who's behind you can't all of a sudden go around you the long way. He can't. I mean, it's physically impossible.
Exactly.
But if you screw up the exit, you're giving him the whole straightaway to get alongside, and then you're done. So I always emphasize the exit of the turn is far more important than the entry of the turn.
I could not agree more. I always felt like there's just that one thing that was sort of holding me back from doing better than I'd been doing, and that was it. I was trying to maximize the amount of speed I was carrying into a corner, to sort of maximize to minimize what that low point of speed would be as I hit the accelerator to come straight back out once past that apex. And then, I heard the phrase "slow in, fast out" so many times that I think there was one point where I was coming in and some guy blocked me right down on the yellow line. Like it was just I had nowhere to go, so I had to get on the brakes. I really had to go slow, but because he was a little bit faster, that natural apex brought him up the track a little bit, which gave me that little bit of room to get back on the pedal when I needed to. And yeah, I raced out of that turn, and you're picking up spots that were, whereas previously you were sort of defending your spot, you start to pick up and gain on the guys in front. So no, could not agree more on that one. That's definitely one thing I've sort of joked about with my mates, where it's like, look, just do the old school, chuck a tennis ball or a boiled egg under your accelerator. if it's broken when you come back out, you've gone too hard. But that's how serious we take this sport, this sim. It's what we do. All right, my man. Look, before we let you go, friends, family, sponsors, who would you like to give a shout out to? Who would you like to say thanks to for making all this possible?
So first of all, I want to thank Chris for setting this up, and everybody in Senior Circuit for just, it's a great community. We have a lot of fun, a lot of clean racing. People get out of their way to be nice to each other on the racetrack, and yet still race each other hard. And that's a skill in itself. And other than that, all my mates that I've been coaching, we're having a lot of fun doing that in the Senior Circuit. And actually, Senior Circuit, we're having a race on Labor Day, 24 hours of Le Mans in 3 hours. So we're progressing time 8 times, and we're doing a whole day in 3 hours. So
wow.
If you're up for that, everybody's welcome.
I'll have to come check that. I look. Back on the old PS2 days, I think it was. No, it was PlayStation 1. I used to work for a computer store, and I was always the one that talked to the reps and stuff. When one of the game reps came in one time, and he gave me a bunch of demos, and one of them was the first PlayStation 1 24 hours of Le Mans, the one where it actually had the time advances. So you sort of set it and go, okay, I want my race to last 2 hours. It's like, all right, well, 2 hours is 24 hours, sort of thing, and those like they still mess with your head, like the darkness, the time advancement does. I believe it does get you a little bit there. So no, I'll look out for that one, and my sim's set back up. I might even have to might have to make an appearance on the track. I've been saying to Chris I want to race a couple of you guys, and I like to measure where I'm at, and I think there's no better way than sort of broadcasting a bunch of guys for a season or so, and then putting yourself up against them. So last lot I did that was the Knuckleheads guys, which is another group that all these guys race with. It's so different sitting in a booth watching it race and getting on the track. It's a very humbling experience. So no, I look forward to potentially sharing at least pit lane with you at some point.
Sounds good. We're more than welcome to join us, man. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, man. You have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you in a week's time.
All right, sounds good. Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, that was our winner here tonight. Mark Brunig started on a pole position, finished in first place. Had a few, sorry, it's got a itch on my nose. Like I'm picking up, but I'm not. I'm just scratching the front. Taking out the win here tonight, 2.5 seconds over Chris Standridge. Tom Land in third, Larry Tittle fourth, Jim Wardlow fifth, Phil Hitman Manzo, Andrew Forrester, Les Bench, Stu Kid Wrench Ryan, and Gene Watkinson round out the 10-car field. Look, thank you so much, everyone, for coming and checking out this broadcast. First broadcast in a couple of weeks, actually. We've been a bit slack now. The main league we broadcast for is on holidays at the moment, / doing a non-televised sort of fun thing at the moment. But we've got this one, the Senior Circuit, plus the Bob Show on Sunday mornings Australian, Saturday night Americans. Come along and watch that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Love you too, Darren. Great stream. Appreciate you. Got a bit of YouTube comment in there. I'm going to try and remember everyone. So Tommy, Jar, Versco, Fordsy, Phoenix, Robbo, Griff and his crew of the Raiders, Beth, Spooky Meatball, Grey Rex, Randy. I think that's everyone. I don't know, how do I do a raid from Streamlabs? I don't know how to do a raid from Streamlabs, Griff. How do I do it? Talk me through it, quick. You want a Discord? Let me jump down. Oh, okay. How do I do it? I don't know how to raid from Streamlabs. I'll do a quick Google. How to raid a Twitch from Streamlabs. That already have two options. Type raid followed by the channel's name you want to transfer your viewers to, or you can use the raid channel function on the dashboard to select from those members. Okay, so I guess I'll go to my Twitch dashboard. I don't know. Just type in your chat raid channel name. All right, let's quickly find a channel then. All right. Not me. Don't go to me. How do I do this? So if I just search what iRacing in Twitch, and then we'll go. What's he got? 200, 100, 100. Oh, here we go. So do I just grab his name? All right, and then what? So I just go raid.
Panadol Extra for tough pain.
Worked
So
it?
you can be there for whatever you. Classic day for Panadol Extra. Care starts here.
Buttering Chase Johnson
Work.
in the lead as it stands for the moment. Everybody taking it to the limit with 17 laps to go.
All right, let's go back to my channel.
Oh, Nick
Okay.
Rader's getting it wild, keeping it together, turns right into Colton Waters and Ryan Robertson.
Okay. I did type raid first. Do not allow you to raid at this time. Okay, so I can't raid him. All right. Do not allow you to raid at this time. Okay, so I can't raid him. All right. What about Anton? Started yet. Come on, there's got to be someone here that something. There we go. Go this guy. That work? Did I raid him? Yep, raid now. There we go.